You have to come here if you want a cookie. Come here. Come here. Good boy. Oh, are you okay? What happens when you have long nails? Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Happy Sunday. So I am joined with Paddington, Mr. I Want a Cookie Paddington. Mummy, you promised me a cookie, so give it to me. Yes. So today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how I got Paddington, like what the process was, why I decided to get him, everything like that. So if you are in the market for a puppy, definitely keep watching and hopefully your answers or your questions will be answered. And then he wants a cookie. So we have cookies from BarkBox. This video isn't sponsored, but I'm like dying here. We love BarkBox, and these are his little Mr. Porkle treats that he said you want. You're licking the bag, hoping that it tastes like the cookie. He knows the word cookie, and it's so cute. Every time I say it, he will like stop mid anything, and like even if he's playing or doing anything, if I say cookie, he stops and just like, what? And you want a cookie? Okay. Oh my god. So Paddington is a purebred Pomeranian. It took me like 5 times to say that properly. And he just turned 1 year old. His birthday is July 14th, 2016. And I got him last October. So, I guess starting from the very beginning, I've always loved fluffy animals. And actually when I was younger, I had a Pomeranian shaped purse that actually looked like a real dog. And everybody thought it was like a real dog when I was like hugging the purse. It was embarrassing, and all my friends from high school like still make fun of me because of it. Hello, you're so cute. But when I was around 19 or 20, I decided that I wanted to get a dog, but I wanted to wait until I was financially stable, when I had like a solid income coming in, and I didn't have to worry about like unexpected vet bills or anything like that. So it was a long wait. I think everybody that's known me since I was about 20 years old, I'm almost 27 now, they knew that Paddington was a thing and that it was going to happen, but they didn't know like when. So where are you going? You're just crazy. You're just crazy. So I reached that point after I did my undergrad and my master's degree. When I actually first started working for Tastemade, and they offered me like a 6-month contract, which ended up turning into a year-long contract after that, I realized I was at the stage where I could afford to get a dog and be able to take care of him and not have to like sacrifice his health if I couldn't afford his vet bills, which was like the most important thing to me. So last, I think March, I reached out to a breeder. And so the reason I went to a breeder versus adopting a dog is simply because I had a very, very specific look that I wanted for Paddington, since he's my first dog. And you're so good. I had this image in my mind of like what exactly he looked like, and I also wanted to raise him from a puppy. Because of those reasons, that's why I went to a breeder. But if I just wanted a dog and wasn't too fussy about like the breed or the age or the fur color or like the face shape, like Paddington has really, really cute cheeks. And let's show them your cheeks. Look at those little cheekies. They're so cute. That's what I was looking for. So I figured my chances were probably slim to none if I were to adopt, but I did adopt my 2 cats when I was growing up, so I'm definitely obviously not against it. It was just because I had a very specific puppy in mind, and you're perfect. Whenever I'm holding a camera, he runs in front of it now because he thinks it's about him, since he's used to be on camera now. So he's definitely a YouTube puppy. He's a little YouTuber. Yes, you are. Anyway. So I actually had his breeder picked out years before I reached out to them. And so to find a good breeder, what I did was I went to the Canadian Kennel Club website, and obviously if you guys are in the States, American Kennel Club, or I think, are there kennel clubs anywhere else? I'm not sure. But what you want to do is find a registered breeder. So Canadian Kennel Club and American Kennel Club, they list a bunch of registered breeders, and it's broken down by breed of dog. So I looked at all the different Pomeranian breeders in Canada, and I looked at the Pomeranians, the adult ones, to see what Paddington would look like when he grew up, just to get an idea of like what to expect, and looking at the price, and also looking at what the breeder's MO is. Is that the wrong way of putting it? I don't know. But a sign of a good breeder is that they're breeding for the betterment of the breed. They want to breed disease out and create healthy animals. They're not just doing it for money. Hello. And also pricing. It's It's not going to be cheap if you're going to a breeder, but you do get what you pay for, so it's like this weird balance. Paddington was $1,200 Canadian, and I put down a $100 deposit when I went on the waiting list, which I'll talk about in a second. But yeah, so it's definitely an investment. There are pros and cons to adopting or going through a breeder. When you're going through a breeder, you typically do get a dog that is obviously younger and it hasn't been exposed to trauma and doesn't have possibly the same issues that some that are just at the pound have. That's not like trashing any dogs who have been adopted, because obviously they do need love and they need a home and there's nothing wrong with them, but it's just about what you're prepared to deal with. If you're in a position where you want to help a dog who has anxiety or separation anxiety, or anything like that, that is definitely like not an issue, but it just depends on like what your needs are. And I know a lot of breeders also show their dogs, and so mine did. Paddington's actually from a breeder whose Pomeranians are like champions in Canada. I didn't even know that when I reached out to them, so that was just like an added bonus. So the breeder, they breed to show, and then they sell their companion puppies, which are puppies that aren't suited for the show ring. So if like a little tooth is just like slightly twisted one way, or I think with Paddington it was his feet, so his feet kind of like go outwards like this, and they're called fiddle feet or fiddle foot. But to be like show quality, your feet need to be like facing like straight. So I think that was why he was out of the running, which is why I got him. So you're not getting like a defective dog, you're just not getting one that is like completely show quality. So what I did when I felt like I had a proper home and a proper, like, I don't know, bank account to be able to afford him, I emailed the breeder talking about me, what I do for work, how big my condo is, and how often I'll be home, how much I know about the breed, because they want to know that you've put thought into this. I know a lot of breeders get emails just saying like, I want a dog, how much? And like, that's literally it. And mine was like 5 paragraphs long. So I wanted her to know that I'd put thought and a lot of care into choosing a Pomeranian versus like another breed. Particularly for Poms or like a lot of toy dogs, you need to have a harness on them instead of just a collar, because their necks are like very delicate, and their tracheas can collapse if you're just attached the leash to the collar and they pull, which is like the most horrifying thing ever. So yeah, I wanted to like let her know that I knew that, and just kind of stuff like that. And so I got put on the waiting list, and I paid a $100 deposit, which is like taken out from the eventual price of the dog. And I waited. So I waited until I think I emailed her in March, and I got Paddington in October. So it was a really long wait, and it was a painful wait, but it was totally worth it. So in the meantime, I bought all of his like sweaters. Pomeranians, like, only in the winter they really like need sweaters. Yeah, so I bought like his sweaters, and I bought his little porch potty that I put on my balcony that he uses to go potty on. I have like everything, because I like to prepare, so I like bought more than I needed to prepare. And just so that I would be ready, because you do get a couple weeks notice when the puppy's ready, but I got about 2 weeks, I think, notice. And the week, I think, before Paddington was coming home, I was going to New York with my mom, so it was like the most frantic planning ever. So the breeder that I got Paddington from is Chriscendo Pomeranians, and they are located in Nova Scotia. And so I had initially offered, I live in Toronto, Ontario, so I initially offered to fly out and pick up Paddington and fly home with him, just because I thought that like being him as a puppy, being on a plane would be like the most traumatic thing ever. But she's like, no, it's okay. It's like safe for them to fly. So when she sent me the note saying that he's ready, I sent her the remaining price. I sent her like everything else financially that I owed her, including the cost of the kennel and the cost of flying him here, which I don't remember how much it cost. I think it was like $50 to $300, somewhere in that range. I don't remember. Then we got the flight number and everything, and we picked him up at the cargo spot at the airport in Toronto, and oh my god, it was so fun. I cried so much. It was like such an emotional day. I was snapping at that point, and so I think I still have the footage, so I'll like insert it here if I still have it. Hey guys, so I'm at the airport, and we're gonna walk in and get Paddington. Prepare if the next scene you see me, like tears gonna be streaming down my face. I've already cried once today. Here he is.
he's snuggling
Okay, guys,
in.
so it's a little dark, but look who we have here. This is Paddington. Hi. Isn't he so cute? So he was just burrowing. He's like exploring in his little playpen. And those are all my stuffed animals that I've given him.
But yeah, so he arrived in his hard little kennel, and all of his documents and everything like that were in a folder wrapped in a large Ziploc bag that was taped on the inside of the kennel so that all the information I needed was there, including his birthday, and all the shots he had up to that point. I got him when he was 12 weeks old. I know the range is like 8 weeks to 12 weeks when breeders typically allow their puppies to go home. The reason why some breeders wait till 12 weeks is because the extra month really, really helps the dog developmentally, like having that extra time with their mom. So if you are choosing between two breeders and one gives them away at 8 weeks and one gives them away at 12, I'd recommend going to the breeder that's giving them away at 12 weeks. Yes, you don't get as much time with like an extra tiny puppy, but it's better for the puppy psychologically. So, oh my god. So it's definitely worth it. So yeah, after we got him home, it was definitely a learning curve for both of us because he's my first dog. I grew up with cats, so it was very new. It was very new. We didn't know what to do, did we? No. He cried and cried and cried the first couple of days because he was unfamiliar with his new home. But now you think you own the home and I just live here with you, don't you? Hi. Say hello, Paddington. Come on. The one time he's quiet. Playing with his corn and it's like as big as he is. Hi, baby. How are you? Those legs. Oh. So he had his final round of shots at 16 weeks. And so the first month that I had him, typically you don't want to walk your dog into any like overly like, I don't know, grassy areas or introduce them to dogs that you don't know or that you don't know have been vaccinated because since they're not fully vaccinated yet, there are a lot of diseases that they could catch. Some are fatal, such as parvo, which is like a stomach intestinal disease, and like your dog can die. So it's good to kind of keep them contained in like a controlled environment until they have their final round of shots. I live in a very, very dog-heavy neighborhood, which is great for like socializing, but he caught kennel cough like a week after I got him just through walking on pavement and not interacting with other dogs. So kennel cough is like extremely contagious. It can be caught in the air and it's not fatal or anything like that. If anything, it like strengthened his immune system. But when the dogs do have kennel cough, you got to keep them inside. So I had to keep him inside away from other dogs for like 3 weeks, which I felt so bad for him, but this was on the advice of the vet and the breeder and everything like that. So I knew I was doing the right thing, but it was just very, very unfamiliar and I had no idea what I was doing. So there was definitely a learning curve there. But moving backwards a little bit, so after I got him, there's an agreement with the breeder that you need to take the dog to a vet within, I think it's 3 days of getting them, just to confirm that you received the dog and it's healthy. And when I did that, the vet told me everything I need to do, when I need to come in for shots, and like how to, I don't know, take care of him, or just like those kind of things. Like they just kind of guided me into it. I have a fantastic vet in Toronto. We go to Queen West Animal Hospital. If any of you guys are in Toronto and are looking for a vet, they are amazing. They like, if you can call them with questions and they just answer you over the phone sometimes, like, and don't even bill you, it's wonderful. And they're patient. I never felt rushed or anything like that with them. So I love them so much, and Paddington's always like happy to go to the vet, which is great. But yeah, so that was like the process of getting him. It's definitely been a learning curve at learning how to potty train him because like I grew up with cats and literally all you need to do is like show them the litter box and somehow they know. Dogs aren't like that. So it took a while, but I think we're good. I don't know if you can see, but there's a pee pad next to my patio door and then his porch potty's on the other side, just so that like we cover all bases, and we're at that point where like now it really, really works really well. But I'm definitely not the person to go to for like potty training advice because it took a while, didn't it? Yes, but he's very, very good on the leash. He pulls because he's excited and like stubborn. That's a personality trait of Pomeranians. But yeah, he's pretty good, and he doesn't bark too much. He's pretty quiet, and he's not yappy at all, which is something I wanted to prevent. I didn't want to get a noise complaint when I was like out I did get a noise complaint once, and I felt terrible, but I mean, like, it's a fact of life, so it's fine. What else? What else? Hello. He knows a couple tricks, or like little commands. He knows kisses. Can I have kisses? Paddington? Stop looking. Okay. Kisses? Go. Kisses. Can I have kisses? Oh, so cute. Yes, you get a cookie for that. But yeah, he's such a little sass nugget. He uses me as like stairs to get onto the top of the couch because he likes sitting there because there's a window there. His favorite food is cheese, cheddar cheese. Oh, do you know that word? I crate trained him, and so like whenever I'm out, he stays in his crate, and the only thing he'll go into his crate for is cheese. Like if I give him a treat that isn't as good or as like high ranking as cheese, he won't eat it. It's ridiculous, and then he won't go into his crate. So I did crate train him actually, and the first 2 nights he cried, and it was so heartbreaking because I just wanted to take him out, but it only took like 3 nights to get him to stop crying. The 3rd day, I took him to my friend's house, and she has a dog who's vaccinated, and they played like the whole day, and he was exhausted when we got home, and so he just went into the crate and like fell asleep. And I was like, yes, like, we're getting this. We are getting this. Oh my goodness. And so now he does sleep in my bed, primarily because he doesn't piddle on my bed, so it was an easy way to potty train because it would force him to hold it the whole night, and then in the morning I wake up and I take him out and he's good. But Pomeranians and other small dogs are very, very delicate in the sense that if they jump off a high place, they could break their leg. So I waited until he was full grown and knew that like he was strong enough to handle that. He doesn't jump off the bed, which is lovely. It also takes Pomeranians about a year to have the ability to sense distance, which is the most terrifying thought. So he's only aware now of when he jumps off something how high it is. When before he was a puppy, sometimes he just like leaped, and it terrified me. The 3rd day or something I had him, or like the first week I had him, I was holding him on this chair actually, and he jumped off out of my arms, which was not planned. I was like putting his little harness on, which I've learned that you do that on the floor now. And I think it scared him more than anything, and he cried, and his little cry just like broke my heart. Oh my gosh, it's so sad. But you were okay. I thought I broke you, but you were okay. And look at this happy puppy. He doesn't get cookies this often. It's just because I want him to stay on my lap. But yeah, I'm sure some of you guys know when he was about 3 months old, 3 or 4 months old, I took him to New York with PB Teen, and we did a little meetup at the New York location. And that was an interesting day because it was actually just after I finished YouTube Next Up, and then the next morning at like 3 a.m. I had to leave to the airport. And so he flew on a plane. I guess it wasn't his first time, but he flew obviously in the cabin with me because he's tiny enough to go under the seat in front of me in a little bag. But he didn't cry at all the whole time. We had cheddar cheese to like appease him if that happened. But he was very, very easy. We picked a hotel that was dog friendly, which was so amazing. He was like sniffing everything. He was so excited. And he loves New York. He loves the crinkly leaves. He loves Central Park. Yes, you do. Everybody said you were so cute. But yeah, and he's just been an absolute dream. So I feel very, very lucky to have such a good little puppy. Wherever we go, everyone compliments him like how well he's behaved, which I'm proud of because he's my first dog. I have no idea what I'm doing, so I'm glad it worked. But when I go out, I carry him in a little bag. I'll link it below. It's from Henri Bendel. And it looks like a little tote, but there's a short little leash inside, so it connects to his harness, and it keeps him in the bag so that he doesn't jump out of the bag, which is like, oh my god, imagine him doing that in a mall, like, oh god. So that prevents that, and then he just like sits in my bag, and he's just like looking around, he's completely fine. Yeah, and he loves other dogs. Since I'm considering getting a pug, I take him to this pug meetup in Toronto every month, and so now whenever he sees pugs, he like goes to them because he's familiar with them, which is so cute. But yeah, he's like the happiest, most friendly dog. Actually, there was one time though where he, oh my god, it was terrifying. We were walking outside, like, right next to my building, and this guy with 2 dogs came over, and the dogs were, like, medium to large size, and I asked if it was okay for Paddington to say hi, because you want to do that in case the other dogs have, like, aggression issues or something like that. You just don't want to, like, put your dog in the line of fire. So the guy said it was fine, and so they were sniffing each other, and it was winter, so Paddington had his little, like, winter jacket on. And all of a sudden, the dog just growled and then picked Paddington up by his head. So Paddington's head was physically inside the dog's mouth. And Paddington was, like, screaming. And I just, like, started crying. And I, like, pulled Paddington away from him. And I was so sure. I was so sure that I was going to see, like, blood gushing out of somewhere. He sounded terrified. Paddington was completely fine, thank God. But it was so scary. And luckily, the owner of the other dog was, like, super apologetic, and he asked me, like, he gave me his phone number to, like, message him later to see that he was okay, because, like, obviously, if he did anything to my dog, he would be the one paying the vet bills and everything like that, and buying me a new dog if something happened to him, because, oh my god. So, oh, it was terrifying, but luckily, nothing like that has happened since. Paddington doesn't seem scarred by the event at all. I think it just seems to be me, so I'm glad. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions, definitely let me know. I will link his breeder down below if you are looking for a Pomeranian as wonderful as Paddington. I don't think they send dogs outside of Canada, so if you're in Canada, you're unlucky. If you're in the States, I think they stopped doing that, so I'm sorry. But you are beautiful. And, oh, come here. Want a cookie? Yeah, come here for it. Come here for the cookie. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. We hope that you like this video. If you are unaware, Paddington has a little segment on my channel called Paddington's Pantry, where we make dog-friendly treats, and we have some dog-friendly pumpkin spice cupcakes coming out pretty soon, so I hope you guys look forward to that. The playlist will be somewhere on the screen. I don't know how I cropped this video, so I don't know if there's more room here or here, but whatever. It's somewhere. I'm sure you guys see it now. And yeah, thank you guys so much for voting for which dog you want to see. Pomeranian beat Pug from, like, when that, I'm thinking of getting a second dog, so that's why I did that poll. But I still don't know, so we'll see. One day you will see a magical little puppy appear, and I'll give you plenty of warning. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you like this video, and we will see you. Actually, Theme Week is, oh my god, Theme Week is starting tomorrow. I just realized that. Oh, the amount of work that's coming this week. So make sure to stay tuned tomorrow. It's going to be Mermaid Theme Week, and the recipes are gorgeous. I can't wait for you guys to see it. So yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.